Hello, yo. Welcome. This is the latest edition of the Silent Switch podcast. I'm your host, Latrell. I'm here with the one and only Mr. Dr. Julian Jackson. How you doing, Professor Jackson?
So I'm doing good, man. Just taking in all this sunshine and just trying to live my life right and enjoy life. So I'm doing real good, man. How about yourself, Trey?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I'm good, man. Like you said, bro. I feel like that's the most important thing to do each and every day, man. Just take in everything that light gives to you, man. The sunlight
Hmm.
is a beautiful day outside. Be thankful for that, man. It's not raining. I know
Yeah,
down here in Nashville, bro, it's been raining for the past 3 or 4 days, man. So I'm kind of
yeah,
happy for the sunlight. Go outside and feel nature, touch grass. You know what they say?
yeah.
Or something like that.
Definitely, definitely embracing that nature and just kind of being like in tune with nature. It really make a big difference. So if you had the opportunity to go outside, like definitely do that. That's that's something that I was just really thankful for, like today, just being able to see the sun. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna, walk outside. I'm gonna do some things outside. So try to do it, and definitely, I think people should definitely go outside more. It's something that's not really talked about. But I told myself in the next couple of months, my goal is to be more in tune with nature. Not like in tune, but like more of like, let me do things outside. Let me go fishing. Um let me just kind of sit outside and just relax. Let me walk at the park. And doing those type of things, because those things that people really don't talk about. Another thing too is like, just like I want to start riding, like riding a bike. I know it sounds kind of random,
Oh
like
no,
you
it
riding
don't,
a
man.
bike. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, no. Actually, I've been thinking about doing that too, man.
Yeah,
And it's funny how when you get older, you start really wanting to do more stuff like that. Because I used to,
yeah,
when I was a kid, bro, I used to hate fishing. I used to go fishing
mm,
with my granddad and my grandma, and
mm,
I used to hate. I thought it was so boring, man. But when you say
yeah,
that, I'm like, I would love to go fishing, man. Have you a couple beers, man. You sit out
yeah,
there like, I ain't got to catch nothing, bro. Just out
yeah.
there, just chilling. You ain't got nothing going on. You ain't got no,
Mm-hmm.
work. You worry about your kids.
Uh,
Nothing, man. He's just out there chilling.
just
And I
out there
feel like
relaxing.
that's a good segue, man, into the topic we were talking about today, man. It's gonna be adulthood, man. And I feel like
Hmm.
that comes with being an adult. You could kind of understand like that silence, man. So important, man, for your
Yeah,
sanity, man. You just won't have that time, peace of mind of yourself, and like you
yeah.
said, being in nature, being outside, man, more often.
Hmm.
And when you're a kid, it's just like I don't care about that stuff, man. I want to go have
Yeah.
fun. I got stuff I want to do. So yeah.
As an adult, you want more peace. As a kid, you want chaos.
Exactly. That's a perfect way to put it, man. Like,
Yeah.
kid, you see our daughters, man, how they are. They just all play
Oh
all
yeah.
the time. They got to be doing something 24/7. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just want to relax. You please give me like 10 minutes. You
10 minutes.
know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's right, though. You get older, man, you just want peace. That's all you want. You just
Yeah.
want peace of mind, peace in your space, everything.
You just want everything to just fall into place.
Exactly, man. You want to do, I feel like, for me, I guess I'm just lazy. I do the least work possible to put
Yeah.
everything into play. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to force it into play. I like it to fall
Yeah.
naturally. I can
Having
sit back
natural.
and chill. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. You're right about that. And the thing about it too is just like when it falls into place and it's natural, you just feel like you just have like a big smile on your face, like, yes, I get to relax. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that'd be the
Compared
best.
to things going everywhere, you're like, yo, I just want to be relaxed and just be chill. Man, I think that's like most people like, at our age, or I don't even know, like, but I know us at our age, we're more of like those adults who just want peace and just be able to, just be present in life and enjoy the things that's around us.
Exactly, man. I feel
Hmm.
like, for me, I know, like we said personally, man, I just like that time, bro, to be present in the moment, man, when you just have nothing on your mind. You don't have to worry about anything. That's so
Hmm.
comforting to me. And I feel like that really, as I get older, man, that's when I really started to understand like who I am as a person. Like that's for me, that's rejuvenating. Be home
Hmm.
and relax, or outside doing something that I don't have to really put engage my mind in. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you be so busy all the time doing this,
Hmm.
doing that, and doing that, planning and trying to strategize your life, and then you're like, man, I just want some time to myself, man, and not think about it. And that's one of
Yeah.
the beauties of life, man. We get that. A lot of people take advantage of that. You know, they're like, man, they feel like that's boredom. You know what I mean? They feel like they
Yeah.
ain't doing something, they bored. They need something to do. And a lot of times you
Mhm.
don't. A lot of times all you need that time to reset your mind a little bit. So
Yeah.
you put more effort into whatever you're doing.
Yeah. You definitely have time to relax. And like I said, our generation is more of like a chaos generation. Everything is always so fast, fast, fast. Everything is fast paced. Um, but then like, as an adult, you gotta take time like to do things slower. And that's like the one thing I'm learning as I get older, is just kind of taking everything slow and not rushing stuff and just really being like intentional, present, and just, you know, I always like to say like, I was like, people back then, like older generations, had like a to-do list, right, on a piece of paper, and they write down, I'm gonna
Yeah.
do this, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this. And I'm trying to get back to like how, like how like ancestors or people before us did, with as far as wanting to do certain things. So just like writing stuff down, like, okay, right here, one, I'm gonna go fishing. Two, I'm gonna ride a bike.
Yeah.
Three, I'm gonna walk at the park. Four, I'm gonna jog at the park. You know what I'm saying? Um, and that's something that I did not do when I was younger. When I was younger, I just wanted to constantly like go. I wouldn't even like remember what happened like 5 hours before because I've been on the go.
Yeah.
But like now, I'm like, okay, I can kind of go back and be like, okay, my day went this way. This happened first, this happened second. And then that's why now I'm relaxing.
Yeah, that's just it comes. That's just that maturity thing. As you
Yeah,
get older, bro, you just want to stop time. You feel me? Like as a kid, you kind of want to. Now that's how. That's kind of what we're gonna talk about today, man. About
yeah,
how like the different perspective of a kid thinking about adulthood and an adult thinking about adulthood.
yeah.
Like a kid, you can't wait you want time to fast forward. Like, bro, I want to be 16. I can't wait to be 21.
To
Wait,
drive.
exactly, man. And then you're older, like, bro, can time slow down? Like, your birthday come by,
Yeah,
people like, hey, happy birthday. It ain't happy, man. I'm old, man. I'm getting
yeah.
old. I want time to slow down. I want to,
Birthdays don't feel the same.
exactly, they don't, man. Like, when you get old, you start getting older, bro. Like, like you said, you 29, I'm 27,
Yeah,
about to be 28, man. It's
yeah,
like, damn, every time my birthday come around, I'm like, damn, I'm old now. I'm getting older.
yeah.
I'm this close to being 30 and then 40.
30.
You know what I mean? Like, can it just slow down? Like, I
Yeah,
find myself just hoping for days like the
yeah.
like kind of like not go as fast, like kind of just take
Mhm.
your time. I feel like my days be flying by now, man.
Yeah, and they go by fast, especially when you're like constantly busy and stuff. And that's the thing about when you become an adult, you have so many more things that you have to do. Being an adult, you have to work. You have to, we have daughters, so we got to take care of our daughters. We got to spend time with like loved ones. And so when you're doing those things, I mean, you know, I always say like 8 to 5 is like the work. Then you can think about the time after. The rest of the time you got to spend with your daughter, reading a book, things like that.
Yeah.
And I just be looking at my time like 5 to 6. I gotta do this. 6 to 7. I gotta do this. 7 to 8. I gotta do this. 8:30 come around. I'm like, all right, this is my time to relax. But that's crazy though.
That's how I be, man. I'm the same way, man. I like to plan out my day because, like, if I don't plan out, I feel like I'm either forget to do something or I'm not having enough time to do things I actually want to do in the day.
Yeah,
So, like,
definitely.
today, like, I had to work last night, so like, okay, I have to go. 'Cause, I had a car accident. I got
Oh yeah,
whiplash, man. They broke my
yeah,
neck, all that stuff. So, like, okay,
yeah.
at 2 o'clock, I gotta go to do this little rehab stuff, and then after
Hmm.
that, I gotta go get my cut. And that, I had to plan
Yeah,
out my day because now I'm like, I'm gonna forget to do something, or
yeah,
I'm be like rushing trying to get everything jam packed in a few
yeah,
hours. So like, I understand what you're saying about that strategizing, bro. You got to when
yeah.
you get older because you got so much on your plate now. When you're a
Like,
kid, oh my bad.
oh no, you realize it's like you said, you're a kid. Like you can go into. I can talk a little bit more after you talk about being a kid.
When you're a kid, man, like
Yeah.
you don't have nothing to work. You had no like zero
No.
responsibilities. I don't have to plan my day. Who cares? I could wake up at 1 o'clock at night. I mean, in the afternoon and do whatever. I have nothing on my agenda. You know what I mean? Just go
Eat
outside.
cereal and play video games.
Exactly, bro. Just play some games, go outside, do whatever, man.
Yeah.
Lay around in your underwear, watch TV all day. Adult, bro, you gotta plan out your day. If not, it's like
Got to.
you're gonna set yourself up for failure.
Yeah. You definitely right about that. And the thing about it too, like when kids like I think kids the only time kids get close to adulthood is like when they have like homework and stuff. You know what I'm saying? When they like constantly been doing all these things. And I like to compare like kids doing homework is like if you have a job, you got a deadline. That's the thing, like the closest thing kids get to adulthood. But I think about like as an adult, when you you constantly like busy with life, or you're doing these things, and you only have a certain amount of time to do certain things, right? So
Yeah.
there's certain things that you may be like, oh, I need to do that, but since it's not enough time in the day, you got to go back and do those things. So you got to kind of like play the I said you have to catch up. You got to catch up, right? Catch up on things that you didn't get to do.
Yeah.
So like as an adult, like even now, like like for example, for me, like cutting the grass, like I'm like, okay, that's a new passion for me. It's
Yeah.
cutting the grass. And it's funny because I'll be asking my coworker who's like 20 years older than me about, hey, should I cut the grass this way? And I'm having those conversations about cutting grass and
What's your grass cut technique, man? What
grass
you do?
cutting
Just be
technique.
asking. How do you cut the grass? Like
I go
what I mean?
up and down, then I go sideways like this. So it's like a checkerboard.
Yeah.
So I'm getting good with that. Just the backyard is not. I'm still trying to figure out that pattern, but the front yard is
You
that
do
way.
a lot of weed whacking too back there. You just cut the grass
Now
and
I'm actually see. I was trying to figure out the difference between a weed whacker and a trimmer. I thought it was the
yeah,
same thing, but they're totally different.
yeah.
So that's grass cutting 101.
That's gonna be the next episode right there. We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
the many ways you can cut your grass.
grass cutting 101. Yeah, but the thing about it too is just like when you have such a, I think as you get older, you get that routine. And so when you got that routine down pat and your routine is constantly, the same,
Yeah,
when something change and you get out of whack, you like, oh, snap, wait a second. Like for me, I'm like, oh, wait a second, I ain't cut the grass in a week and a half. I'm like, I always cut the grass every other week.
right.
So like you get behind and you like, oh, I got to catch up on that. But then you like, oh, but I got to do this too. But then I got to do this too. So it's like having the balance. But so many things come with like when you become an adult that you don't even, you definitely don't even realize when you're younger. You're like, oh, I'm good.
Right. There's so much stuff like people really don't talk about when it comes
Yeah,
to growing up, man. We always think about the fun things, being able to, like I'm sipping on whiskey right now. Like, oh man,
yeah,
when you grow up, I can go to the liquor store, buy a liquor, whatever I
yeah,
want to, drink it. Anybody telling me not to, or
yeah,
I can stay up all night, eat whatever I want.
yeah,
In reality, I can't be drinking all the time. I gotta go to work.
mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like I'm off today, but I have to work. I can't just sit around doing that, and I had to
yeah,
get rest because I need without rest. You know how it is, bro. You get 4 hours of sleep,
yeah.
bro.
You're
Man,
tired.
you struggling. You
Yeah,
hurt.
you're right.
And it makes everything else you got to do even harder because you didn't get enough rest. Well, to
Yeah,
a kid, like that doesn't matter. Rest doesn't matter. Sleep doesn't
mm,
matter. Um, paying bills. I don't. When you a kid, I didn't worry about paying bills and stuff.
yeah,
My mom took care of that stuff.
yeah. You're right. You
Now,
said the sleep thing. I think about our daughters. That they make a big fuss for naps. So like an afternoon nap is like the best thing in the world.
they hate that, bro. My daughter hate, bro. She be fighting me
Yeah,
on this. I'm like, Scott,
mine
I
do the
want to
same.
sleep. She, no, Dad, I'm not tired. Dad, I want to
Yeah,
sleep. Like, Dad, you need to take a nap. And then finally, I
yeah,
either drive her around and she'll fall asleep, or I take her
yeah,
outside. She'll run around for a little bit, and then we'll come back. She'll pass out.
yeah,
But it's like you said, man. When you're a kid, you don't value that. Like sleep is important, man. Like you said,
yeah,
that time you're able to like relax your body is important. But you don't really think about that till you get older, man. Your body start hurting, you start aching everywhere. Like, damn, man,
hmm
I want to relax a little bit. I've been moving around too much, man.
yeah. And just that's the thing. Like you want to just have that like a chill. You just want to chill. I never knew like when you're young, you heard the word chill. Like I just want to chill, but like
Yeah,
as an adult, you like I just want to chill. And that's what I mean by chill. I don't mean I ain't trying to do this and then chill. I just want to chill. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It's
I
yeah.
don't want to think about nothing, man. I don't want to have nobody calling me. That's why a lot of times I put my phone on do not disturb. I was like, man, I don't
Trail,
do
keep his phone to D&D.
yeah,
I'm letting y'all know.
I don't do it to be rude or not. It's just like I just want that peace of mind. I ain't gotta
Yeah.
worry about nothing. I ain't gotta check my phone and I can just sit there, read a book or something, or I
Yeah.
don't watch TV. That's how this guy for me, bro. I don't watch TV anymore. I should be at home chilling, man, just think about life and kind of relax my mind a little bit.
Yeah. I know it's past. You know, I've been on the go the past couple of weeks, right?
You've been moving, man.
Been moving, bro. So like, I didn't realize how much I appreciate like the routine. I appreciate like the being able to have that be able to chill and have those days, be the same. And so like it was crazy because like past weekends I've been out of town or whatever. And so the Saturday came up and I was just like woke up later than usual, which is later than usual. I don't even want to tell you what's late.
It's probably what 10, 9 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, I swear to God, I feel the same way, man.
My body's so programmed, bro. 8 o'clock is like the latest I can wake up. I'm like, I gotta get
I
up.
slept in this morning. It's 8:30. I slept.
Yeah. And so with it, like basically, like going through like that whole day, I was like, yo, I don't have to do nothing. And like it reminded me like when I was a kid, like, oh, I can do this. I can go play the game. I can go outside. I can just, I can just sit here and just relax.
Yeah.
But then like as you're an adult, you're like, bro, I can't just like you gonna relax, but then like you might see something that need to be done, like, oh, I need to go and wash some clothes. I'm looking right down right now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I need to go and do this real quick,
Yeah.
And that's crazy because like a kid, it was so crazy because I think about like as a kid and my siblings and my mom used to be like, especially my brother Mike, he's like, bro, like Joe, when we get older, like I know you ain't gonna never like clean up, do this and that. Cause like I was just chilling as a kid. I was like, I'm a kid,
I see Mike saying that.
Yeah, he was just like hating on me as a kid. Like you ain't gotta do you don't do nothing. So I know you old. He's like, I'm gonna hate it for your wife. You know what I'm saying? When you get old. And he used to say that. And I think about it now and I'm like, bro, like I'm totally opposite of like how I was as a kid. Like I cannot, if I see something, I'm like, yeah, I gotta do this. It's the smallest thing in the world. Cause I like to make sure things are done. And I guess that's me getting old. I guess. In college, I was totally opposite. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm the same way, man. I feel like that just comes with that responsibility piece for growing older. You understand, like, you own stuff, man. Like you own your car, you own your home. You know what I mean? You own your career, your life. So you want to take ownership of it, and you want to make sure that it's not perfect, but you want to make sure you're doing is the best it could be. So you see something at your house, like, damn, the clothes are piling up, the dishes are piling up. I need to wash. It's my house. Anybody else gonna come and wash it for me?
Yeah,
I have to do it eventually. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like,
you're right.
It makes you just want to hop on it and knock it out now instead of waiting because I have to do it. And that's just come on being an adult, man. That responsibility piece of knowing that it's on you to make sure that everything's good with you. Like it's on you to make sure that your bills are paid, that you're going to work, that you got food in your fridge, that your daughter's taken care of, that the dishes are washed. Nobody else gonna do it for you. I mean, you have your wife and stuff, so you have somebody else to help you with those responsibilities. But still up to you guys to do that. You know what I mean? Your parents not gonna come, hey Julie, you can pay
bro,
I'm gonna come over just to wash the dishes. I'm gonna go home. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you $500 pay your card note. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, bro, I wish too, man. And that's not happening. That's just that responsibility piece of growing up, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's on you to make sure that your life good in the way that you would like.
And you had said earlier, like with like when you have like I think when you have a kid, bro, just like that your kid is like depending on you, and then you want to be that example to your kid, so you want to be especially us having girls. I want to show my little girl like how it is to have a man work hard, right? I want to show my little girl how it is for a man to clean up, for a man to do things around the house, cook, things like that. So she know that for the future, if that's what she wants, she sees an example of that. So being able to do that, and it's so crazy because like as a kid, I would never thought I'd be doing the things I'm doing now. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm like, especially in high school, I was like, bro, like how we was in high school. Like, oh man, we just high school. We good, bro. Like,
I remember we used to go to your place, man.
Mom did everything, bro.
Everything. She would throw down. I miss them cookies, bro.
She used to cook everything. My mom used to I used to clean my room, and my mom would come back and make sure my room is clean after I cleaned my room already.
Yes, I remember that, man. I remember that.
Yeah, she did, but now I'm like, I can make sure everything clean. Now I feel like I'm taking her traits of like doing certain things. I'm like, I guess that's what she taught. That's what she taught me. So
yeah,
it definitely. I guess it carried to my life.
I like what you said about like just being the role models for our daughters. Type of like see how men is supposed to act. Not only just men, but just adults in general, man. Like you want to be that guy that force for your kids, man, so they can see that. Because a lot of time, it's not really about like how people are in turn, like how like nature, like how you are naturally, it's just nurture. Like how were you raised? Like what environment were you placed into? How kind of like determine how you gonna turn out. We both want our daughters to be great human beings, man, the best way possible. So we got to show them that. Like they're not gonna just learn that by themselves, man. You got to show them that by your actions and how you live your life. I'm glad you brought it up too, man. We're gonna kind of touch on that too more when we do our Father's Day podcast. So once you guys tune in for our I don't know Father's Day, June something.
It's like June. I'm not sure. I think it's like don't. I'm not gonna say the date because I want nobody
No,
like you don't even know when Father's Day is.
exactly.
But
That's how busy we are, people. We that busy. We don't want no politics. We just keep
yeah,
going. Keep
we
going.
just keep it going.
I
But
don't
like
need somebody to tell me.
yeah, I like what you had said, Trail, about when you said like being that like we had said earlier, being an example for our daughters, like being a example for them. And I was thinking about something the other day, and I just kind of when certain things happen in my life, I like to share it on the podcast. But
Yeah,
you know, I was talking to I think one of my coworkers, and it was the thing of like chivalry, you know what I'm saying? Like chivalry, like basically like open doors for women, or open the doors, just that type of thing. That something is. I was like thinking like the person, my coworker was like, "Well, chivalry is dead." I'm like, "Well, no, it's not. It depends on the person, you know.
right.
Especially for us, like I always grab, my wife's door, I grab my little girl door, and to show them like, okay, I'm gonna come all the way around here, open this door for y'all, um, to show them that." But those are the type of things that you kind of you start to do as when you become an adult that you didn't even even if you was taught back then, you may not have been able to do those things, but those things that naturally happen. But basically for them, like to see like, oh, a man's supposed to do this, or a man can do this for me.
Yeah,
I don't even have to ask. This person should naturally do that. I mean, but I mean, it's based on experiences, right? So
exactly. I like
yeah,
what you touched on, man. With silver, I feel like when we talk about stuff like that, that's just kind of person you are. I
yeah,
feel like when you start talking about things like that, I kind of teach my daughter and myself too. Not necessarily expect people to act the way you want. Just let them act how they are. Like I can't
yeah,
control what somebody else do. And as you get older, you
yeah.
kind of realize that I can't control what you do, what this other person do. But you know what I mean? Like I control what I do. So for
Hmm.
you being chivalrous, that's something you enjoy doing. It's something you want to do. So it's like
Yeah.
second nature to you. You
Happens
already think
naturally,
about
yeah.
it. You
Nah.
should open the door for your daughter or your
Yeah.
wife and stuff like that. Or people you just see coming out, like you going
Yeah.
to a restaurant, you should open the door. Like it's just second nature. People like,
Mm.
it's kind of weird. Like, why are you
They gotta
doing that?
run to the door and try to get
Exactly. I'm the
the
same way. That's just how I am. Like, if I see somebody walking behind me, I'm opening the door for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's how you doing. You know what I mean? That's how I am. I don't do it because I want to. I don't care if you see me as nice or not. I don't care about that. That's how I would like to present myself. You know what I
Try to
mean?
present so yeah.
And I feel like once you get older, you start realizing, like, for me personally, like right and wrong, it's such subjective, man. And you got to find your
Hmm.
own right and wrong ways to live your life. And that's what
Hmm.
something I try to teach my daughter. Like, you can't just look at people as good and bad because everything's subjective. There's always a
Hmm.
justification, a reason why somebody does whatever they're doing.
Hmm.
If somebody treats you wrong, a lot of times because something going on in their life. You know what I mean? They're just not
Yeah.
the. It might not be the best person, but they're not the worst person either. So like
Yeah.
I know I went on a little like a tangent, but like to bring it back, man, it's just like once you get older in adulthood, man, you start looking at things differently. Now I look at
Yeah.
people differently. I don't look at people just good and bad. I look at people as just people. Like we all have
Yeah.
our strengths, our flaws, our weaknesses, man. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we all human. And that's how
Yeah.
God made us to be. He made us to be fallible so we can learn from each other and grow like that.
Exactly. And I like what you said. I was thinking about this thing I saw the other day. It's like um was talking about something. It was like a topic or something. And like every person gave their, opinion on the topic. And, somebody was like, well, the person at the end was like, well, you're not wrong, but you're not right. This is basically saying you're not wrong, you're not right, but that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then they said to the same as that person, that's your opinion. That's your opinion. Because like you said, we are human beings, and like some of these things are things that we pick up, as we grow up and we pick these things up. Some of these things, like some people have never experienced before, so they don't even know how to share their thoughts on something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, but basically, I think that's like as you get older as an adult, you start to see like every person has different life experiences. Every person has a different opinion. Every person is not the same.
Yeah.
Every person, needs to learn. Like even if every person needs to learn. Even if they think they know everything, they still don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? So that
Exactly.
type of thing. But and then the last thing, like becoming adults, you like, I think it's just being able to allow yourself to learn. Like I think I said in the non podcast, just allow yourself to learn and not being perfect. Like don't be like, oh, I know all these things. Like be honest because that's a part of being an adult. Is like you know being able to show that you do need to learn these things so then you can show somebody else, right?
Mm. I really like what you said about like you just learning new things, man. I feel like that's
Yeah.
the beauty of life, man. Like it's always
Mm-hmm.
something new to learn and to understand, and that's why
You're
I
right.
feel like I feel like we talked about this a while back, man. As you get older, you like to read more. Like I know I like to read,
Oh yeah.
I like to understand things more, so just so I can be more like understanding about what's going on in the world, like
Yeah.
what's happening and stuff like that. I don't talk about when I say going on in the world. I don't mean like news. I don't care about the news and politics. All that stuff
Yeah.
ain't news to me. I mean
Yeah.
like just like general, like what's going on with our people as people, like
Mm-hmm.
our society and stuff like that. Like I like to know like how we move, what are we doing, and what we can do better, what I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going with learning, man. Like learning new things, learning new philosophies and stuff like that,
Yeah.
man. Just always pushing yourself to be better, man. And that only
Mm-hmm.
comes with like, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations or different situations so you can
Yeah.
grow in that way. You know what I mean? That's some things you just do as an adult, man. Like a lot of times I know like, you start a new job, man, you don't know what you're doing. You have no idea,
Yeah.
like you may have a clue how to do it, but you still have to have that learning what's the word I'm looking for, that learning like cycle where you kind of like they have to mentor you and teach you how to do these
Mm-hmm.
things, man. And that's how you really grow. Now I know like the job you have now, like I know when you
Mm-hmm.
first started you probably didn't know how to do it
Oh
perfect.
no.
Now like
No.
you probably do it in your sleep now. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And now you growing now you can learn some more stuff, add on to
Yeah.
that, and keep going and keep progressing, man. And to me, like I
You're
said,
right.
that's the beauty of life, man. We all get better. We can all, grow in some way, whether it's intellectually, spiritually, physically, whatever it is, man. We all get better in some way.
Mm-hmm. I think we all have to be like more what's the word I'm trying to say? Give each other more grace, you know what I'm saying? Like, and realize that we all like, like we said before, we all have some people have not learned certain things, and you have to be able to show that person, and not be like, oh, you don't know this. It's like, don't come at me like aggressive, just like, I don't know it. Why don't you know it? I never experienced before. You might experience it 20, 25, 30 times, but I've never done it before. I've never talked in front of a crowd before. Why you never talked in front of a crowd before? Because I never had opportunities to talk in front of a crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's the thing about, like, I think as you get older, especially when you like around older individuals like you work with, things like that. Um, some of them will be able to get that out of you. Some of them will be able to say like, okay, let's talk through it. Um, and then I think it's just like the more you talk to those individuals or talk to, kind of like reflect yourself, like, okay, like I have to share this information. I have to share this. If I don't share this, then people gonna see it, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
also people should make themselves like open to listening, open to helping, you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day we say, we just trying to we come on we on earth to help one another, to, bless one another, to impact each other's lives, or lives, and that's what we're here to do. So
I wish that
that's
message
what
was
we
more.
all people.
Exactly, man. I wish more people understand that message, man. It doesn't make, you know, I feel like a lot of times, especially in our society, man, America, we kind of put too much focus on like the external stuff, man, like your
Yeah.
occupation and financial stability, which is good,
Hmm.
but like your income levels and all that stuff, and it makes you better than somebody else. Like you see a homeless person, like you automatically think I'm better than that person just because I have money, a place to stay, and a good job. Like no, like
Hmm.
we all just people, and I
Yeah.
wish like more people like think like that. Like we're all here to help people, man. And we
Yeah.
should always like a lot of people get this like selfish mindset, like, no, I
Hmm.
want this about me. I'm gonna make sure I'm good. If you're not good, that's on you. But like end of the day,
It's
guys,
like
like
selfish, right? It's like money, money, money. It's like all about me. It's like more. That's what I said. Like it's a bunch of selfish people. If we have a bunch of selfless people, then we'd be good, you know?
yeah, we all just been over like, hey, like you don't have to go like extremely out your way to help people, but like if you have
Hmm.
opportunity to help somebody, just do it. Like if you
Yeah.
can help somebody by I don't know, like you don't have to give them money, but like you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
it's other ways to help people than just throwing money at it. You
Yeah.
can talk to people,
Time. There's
spend time
so
with
many
them.
different things. Time,
Exactly.
listening.
Exactly. That's a big thing too, man. I learned that at my job, man, just dealing with like I'm a correction officer. So
Hmm.
dealing with the inmate, a lot of times they just want somebody to talk to, man. To be honest with
Yeah.
you. Like they understand I can't do anything with the situation. I'm not a judge or I don't have any power to get them
Yeah.
out of jail, but I can listen to you, talk about your
Hmm.
problems, the situation. And a lot of times that's all they need, man. They come up just talk to me. I don't say nothing, I just sit there and listen because that's
Yeah.
really all they need, man. That's all they missing because a lot of people don't have that in their lives. Somebody can really talk to about their problems, their issues, man.
Hmm.
And then that's how people learn from that though. Like you able to talk to somebody about your issues, you can reflect like, okay,
Yeah.
what I did there was wrong. having that conversation kind of opened my eyes what I could do differently.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing too, when we talk about adulthood, I know you're gonna talk a little bit about the definition later about like what does it mean. And I know you're gonna get more into that later. But I was thinking like adulthood, it's about experiences, right? And it was I would heard something, I was like talking to this older gentleman, um, and he was kind of just talking about his life. And he was just talking about like if you ever talk to someone who's like a lot older, especially like, a lot older than us, say like 60, 70s, that type of thing, they have life experiences, right? And
Yeah.
so what older individuals do is that they share their life, right? They share like life when they were young, life when they were our age, life when they were older than us, and then life when they at night, that
Yeah.
type of thing. So it's like when you talk to them, it's like they tell you their life, but it sounds like a book, right? but But basically, what I'm saying is like, it's crazy that we think about adulthood. I mean, like we're constantly we think about like being an adult. I mean, it looks different as time goes on, And I think about like individuals like 70 years old. I'm like, well, at 70, being an adult looks totally different at 60 or 50. As time go on, I think like it's an age. So it's like I was thinking like 25, 27, whatever age, when you officially become an adult. Well, 18 basically, yeah. Officially, but I don't think I think you're still learning at 18.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
more than
but thinking that from the age 18 to up, you're an adult,
yeah.
which is a short time. You think about 18 up, like you was only just like taking care of yourself for like 7. I mean, not taking somebody was taking care of you for
I'm about to
17
say
years.
originally to the
Yeah.
time. So from
17.
1 to 18, you ain't really been on your own. I used to get on my
Yeah.
own after I turned 18. So.
Yeah. Same. But that's the thing. You think about it, like people have those experiences, and basically, I'm trying to go with it. I know I'm all over the place, but basically, like when we think about the word adulthood, I mean, you talk about adult, and you're gonna go more into like the definition. I just think like the one thing I've learned as I get older is that it looks different. Like every age look different, right?
Yeah.
Every part of your life look different, and I think that's becoming adults, like actually understanding that every part of those look different to the point where we always say in like past podcasts, you got to recreate yourself over and over, because that's something that you, if not, then you'll be like, wait a second, why am I acting like I'm 29? I'm acting like I'm 21 still.
I'm really glad you said that. I feel like that's the most point that it should look different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You should grow each phase of your life. If you still the same way you was 18 at 35, something wrong. Something didn't go right. You know what I mean? I should be able to look back like, hey, I'm nothing like I was when I was when I was a kid. I'm nothing like I was when I was 21. You know what I mean? Like you should grow. Like that's the point. Like we try to evolve each phase of your life. You get better and better. You learn more stuff, man. So if you're not doing that, you better something not right.
Something not right. You like
change.
That's funny. I just think about like you said I was talking to the older gentleman, right? 70 years old, but he talking like me. So I'm like, oh yeah, cool. You like that too? Okay, you rock with such and such. You listen to this, but we not on the same. At one time, when he was our age, he was talking to somebody who was 70, and they were talking about. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, even though we adults, it's still like that individual. The time looked totally different. That's what I'm basically trying to say. The time looked totally different compared to like now. So eventually we 29 now, or 29, 28, or 20, 27. I'd be 28 though. I always remind you. But basically, like it's gonna be somebody else that's gonna be in our shoes. Like 10 years from now, somebody else we're gonna be 10 years. We're gonna be 39, 30, 37, 30.
So how does it feel to be 35, Dr. Jackson? What I mean?
But that's crazy though. You think about it. But we never thought like. I mean, me and Trey have been best friends since high school.
Yeah.
You never thought like in high school, like, yo, one day we're gonna be 29, 28. You know what I'm saying? That never crossed my mind. I was thinking about it.
I never think about that, man. I was thinking about the other day, man. Just like, damn, like how far I came in life. Like I got a kid. I never think I had a kid right now. I never thought I'd be doing the things I'm doing. Like I'm like, I like that. I'm a totally different person. Like you said, I'm a totally different person I was when I was in high school, man. But it's like. And so I was like saying, like it's kind of how it's supposed to be. Like I shouldn't be the same person I was back then. Like I learned a lot. I've been through a lot. You know what I mean? I've seen life. I feel like it's one of the things about adulthood, bro. You start to experience life.
Experience life.
I feel like you ever heard
Yeah.
of Buddhism, like they say you open your third eye, nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
Once it's open, it can't be closed. Like once you
Yeah.
see things that seen can't be unseen. So basically, that's how life is. Like once you go through stuff, man, I can't go back to being that way, man.
Yeah.
I've been through too much.
Yeah. And that's the thing. The older gentleman, I was wondering why I was going all over the place with that. But the older gentleman, what I was thinking, like when he was telling me those things, is like he experienced life. He went through life. I think the purpose when he was talking to me was just saying like I experienced life so much that yes, these things have happened in my life, but these things have allowed me to become the man that I am. And I think that's like just when you go through stages of life in certain parts, the things that you experience already will allow you to be the person that you are right now.
Yeah.
Then, like right now at 29, I'm gonna start experiencing stuff that's gonna allow me to be who I am at 37. Then I'm gonna start experiencing stuff at 37. It's gonna allow me to be the man I am at 50. You know what I'm saying? So, life is about experiences, bro.
It is, but everything happens for a reason, man. I feel like if you look at it that way, not look at the bad things or the suffering that happen in your life as something negative, as something.
Yeah.
You look at something as just like a learning experience, man. That's why I try to. Anytime I feel like something negative seems a failure, I don't look at it that way. I start looking at it as a learning experience. Like,
A learning experience.
What can I take from this and do better next time? You know what I mean? So I won't do that. So that, like you said, and that way you grow a little bit each time. So then you are a different person. By the time you look back 5 years from now, like, damn, I learned this and that. Now I know what not to do. You know what I mean? I know like when I encounter this situation at work or in my home life, I know how to be better at that. And it makes you a better person, man. That's all we're trying to do, man. Be the best people we can be each and every day.
Definitely.
I don't think I've been a person that wants to be like, I want to be a fucked up person. I want to be a horrible fucked up person. I want to hate life. I want to hate myself. Nobody wants that, man. We all trying to get to that place where we had that joy and happiness, man, on a consistent basis.
You're right. Somebody saying you look at them like, oh no, you give them that WTF. Hey, what's wrong with your man?
What is this, man? Like, I want to hate life. I want to hate everybody. I want you to, like, Marcus from the Boondocks, man.
Yeah.
Oh no, not him, but the dude was like, what's that dude? He was fighting Red Dad.
Oh, you talking about Stinkman? Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody wants to be that person. Like,
no.
Go their life and be around the people they care about, man.
You're right.
Stop. I feel like that's why I can look at people that's like drug addicts differently now. Really boil it down. Why they doing that? It's because something in their life is painful and suffering in some way. They're trying to find escape from that.
Find an escape, you're right.
I trying to justify what they do. Like some people be drug addicts, they kind of get into crime and hurting people, but like it's a reason why people do those things, man.
You're right.
I wish our legal system and criminal system would like kind of look at that differently instead of just like, hey, you got some weed on you, got some drugs on you, on the jail for 5 years. Like, how does it work?
Like understand people and actually like, I was talking to somebody the other day. Well, I think it was like today, I'm saying the other day. But they was basically just saying like being able to realize that like, that emotional piece is a big piece. People like, it was something that like in the past and like it looked like in the past it wasn't like focused on, so that mental health piece wasn't focused on, like that social emotional support wasn't there, individuals weren't able to talk about their feelings and stuff back then. It was like you can hurt yourself, oh well, get up, keep going, you know what I'm saying? But now you hurt yourself, like, yeah, I hurt myself. My wrist hurt a little bit. I've been having a little pain, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You say your back, you say your neck hurting. I mean, you can finally see back then, about 30 years ago, you couldn't do that. They be like, hey, you good, you keep going,
Exactly.
And he be like James off Good Times. I got a bad neck, my neck hurt,
Throw some more Robitussin on him, and he be all right.
Yeah, Robitussin like the daddy for everybody.
You got to touch it.
But like, back then they had to be more resilient. And I didn't say like we're resilient as well, but I'm saying it's like, they had to be so tough back then. It's like now you can finally like share your emotions and stuff. And, that's something, I think like certain generations that separated certain generations from their kids because like that generation was so tough. Like you're okay, you'll be all right. And then now it's like, now we like our kids, like they got to express their feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like even in my daughter's school, they have this thing where they have to like give her time to, when she's ready to talk, then she can talk, that type of thing. Like if something like she has I also saw it on Bernie Mac show one time too. It's like when she's ready to like talk and she's ready to be around, then she can do that, compared to like, you mad? Oh well, get over it, let's keep going. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but at school it's like if you're mad, like Give you time to think about why you're mad, and then you come back and talk to us. But you know, there's just different approaches like that, and that's that SEL support, social emotional support that that wasn't there 20, 30 years ago. I mean, not even like 10 years ago.
Nah,
It didn't come to COVID. Be real with
exactly. I feel like that's when really mental health stuff really came to like really be more important in society because like I know like you said 10 years ago it was kind of brought up like anxiety and
you. Yeah,
depression, all that stuff. But like after COVID, like you see more and more people like I have anxiety, I have depression. You spend more time with yourself, kind of spend more time with your emotions, kind of understand like,
yeah,
yeah, something not right with me. What's going
yeah,
on? But when you moving constantly 24/7, don't have time to sit down and like we talked about earlier, relax and really self evaluate, man. You don't have
yeah,
time to like what's my emotion? How do I feel right now? You know what I
yeah,
mean? But that's kind of a good thing that people are more like in tune with that, man. I feel like that's a good thing in society to be
mm,
better, more healthy emotionally, man. Because that's
yeah,
a huge part. You want to be just like we both want to work out and be good physically, spiritually with our faith, our walk with God, but like mentally and emotionally, you still got to worry about those too, man. Because
yeah.
I feel like if any one of those three are not in line, then nothing's gonna be in line. Like nothing's gonna work out.
Mm-mm. And the thing too, like we're thinking about like nowadays, with being so like relevant and such a big topic, and such a concern now is like you know people like I think about like different generations, right? They didn't know about, what anxiety meant. They didn't know like the definition of these terms that have been around for a long time,
Yeah,
but they just weren't used, because like back then it was put to the side, or not really touched on. But now it's like for the individuals who do, go through those things, being able to tell them like, I'm gonna use a random name, Johnny. I'm just say Johnny.
okay.
Johnny, I know that you're being like, going through this, but Johnny, do you know what anxiety means?
Yeah.
Anxiety, like, I'm just sad. But Johnny, sadness is a part of anxiety. You know what I'm saying? He's breaking it down for that individual. Um, and I know we kind of go on the whole little rant we going away from, but just, you think about the adulthood. I mean, going back to adulthood is like the same thing, being an adult back then, it was like more of like being tough. I mean,
Yeah.
especially you think about like I always think like TV shows. I know I'm going all over. It's
Oh,
like well,
good, man.
like fathers on TV shows back then. Like any show back then, like the dad always had to be like the strong, tough dad. You know what I'm saying?
I love you. No
And
hugging. I love you.
I don't I love you. Don't say I love you. Don't hug. Don't be like, oh, you okay?
Yeah.
Like don't even have a conversation with the kid.
Mm.
But dad, I think daddy loved me.
Get off
Like
work.
you know what I'm saying?
Can't watch TV. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Right,
It's like eat his food, go to sleep.
exactly. That's how it was.
Yeah, but you think like now it's like that's totally that's totally different. Like you got the girl dads, right? You got the girl dads, the dads who are wearing like the capes like their daughter, like what I'm saying, like I'm a girl dad, embracing it, embracing emotion, embracing feelings, things like that. I think that's amazing, because as human beings, we're made to be that way,
I feel,
um,
I
we're
feel
more
like it's a good
accepting.
segue, man, into like basically how being an adult has changed now versus then.
Yeah,
Like you said, like back in 20, 30 years from now,
yeah,
being a man and being an adult was looked at totally different. Like you said, like
hmm
who's going through anxiety or some type of mental disturbance, they're like, yo, you just sad, get over it. But
yeah,
now like we actually kind of have ways to kind of express that and ways to handle it. And just
mm,
like like you said, man, just that piece of being an adult, man, is different. Like
yeah.
adulthood looks different now, and
Mm.
really, why is that? Why is the look? Why it wasn't always like that? Like what has
I
happened
don't
now?
know.
Like,
That's a good question.
that's
We
what I'm
need to
thinking.
look
Like
that
what
up.
you were
Yeah,
saying, I'm like, then why is it different? Like what's
yeah.
changed in the past
What
30, 40
changed?
years? Is it
Yeah, I don't know.
technology? Like we have social media now, people can like express themselves more, so it
Express
makes people more
themselves.
open. Or
Yeah. I just feel like everything is so different like now compared to like back then because like I said, men express themselves more, men are more vulnerable, things like that. Back then it wasn't that, but then also just things of like I mean like I don't know, that's so strange though. That's strange.
like
You're
why
right
is
though.
that? Like, but like you look back every single like time period in the history of the world, like adulthood looked different. Like
Yeah.
adulthood looked different in the 1800s than in 1900s. Like
Yeah.
people expect to do more and do less, and you know what I mean. Is it just because once technology gets better and better, we change and evolve, or it's just
Yeah.
society? Like like you look at society now, like it's more about treating everybody fair and all this
Fair.
stuff and
Mm.
all that. But it wasn't like that before. People didn't care about whether or not you
Oh no.
what you believed in and what's your
Mm-mm.
sexual orientation, all that stuff. People
Yeah.
like, like either you like this or you're not. If you're not like this, then we can't include you in our society.
Yeah.
But like
You're
what's
right.
changed? Like what's happened in our society that made it that way that, adults now can kind of
Yeah.
be more open and express themselves. Like that's
Maybe it's acceptance. Maybe it's like more of just like acceptance. I feel like back then there wasn't acceptance. I feel like there was like back then there was more of like, I don't want to say like is the word bias? Is that the right word?
yeah, that's a good word.
More bias, or more like, people are more judgmental. I mean, people are still judgmental, but like yeah, yeah. Yeah, you get canceled real quick in this world, in this society.
Exactly. Online, like I love
Yeah.
everybody.
I love everybody. Yeah.
Like, behind closed door, like fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah. But the thing about it too is just I think like I said, it's more acceptance. I think people are more like actually able to listen. I think people are like more open to the open to change.
Yeah.
That's what it is. People are more open to change. So people are more open to change. I think, and that's what happened. People are more open to change. That's what we're gonna keep it that people are more open to change. Like I don't know, maybe I'm gonna use that for right now.
That's, like you said, it's a good question to think about.
Yeah.
Like, why does
Do you think it was gender roles or something? Do you think it was because like gender roles, like back then, like a man would go to the military and this and that, and women would stay at home? But like those old social norms that were set in place. I don't know if that's social norms, but social cues or whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Social norm. I feel like that's a piece of it too, man. Like you said, back in like the 1940s, you had people going off to fight World War II.
Yeah,
and women were staying at home. So that's how women are supposed to be now. But now you look at the situation now. Like take your life for instance. You have a wife that's a full-time job. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
she's not just on taking care of your daughter. She's out there working, making money just like you are.
You're right.
It's expected now. Like you have most people. I think I can count on my hand the amount of people I met that has a stay-at-home wife. Like it's not normal anymore. Like people are like, why are you? What's wrong with you? Like you don't have no passions for yourself. What you want to do with your life?
Yeah, you're right. I think that's just like the change over time and stuff. Like was it involvement? Like evolved? Revolution. Things change. So, I think that's the big thing. And like I said, I think a lot of that stuff is kind of like now finally being seen with our generations. Like, okay, how are we going to like how are we going to look as adults? How are we going to treat our kids? How are we going to like overcome the things that we had to overcome as kids? Communication, understanding, being able to listen. Listen is the biggest piece, right? The biggest, I think the biggest thing too is acceptance. Like I think like before, generations before was not accepting to like certain things, and then our generation is more of like be yourself, love yourself, be who you are. The world's gonna accept you for who you are. I mean, and that's that's in everything, even like at work. You know what I'm saying? We're using certain language and things that definitely wasn't used like years ago.
Tell your boss, oh man, I'm having a mental health episode. They're like, what the hell's wrong with you? You don't come to work right now, you fired.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you say that and they
I need a mental break. Yeah.
Hey, I'm suing you. You know what I mean? Because you have to, it's like protected now.
Yeah. So there's things in place. I think, and that's like I think like that's how the job like was able to evolve with like the change. Everything is like it's together, right? Because I think it's like protecting the individual. He's also protecting like your rights. So I think, like we said, that just that change over time is really based on that acceptance, but also on all those things that come with it, with that acceptance. Exactly. And I mean, if those things never happen, then you'll still be people like at work, disrespecting people like, oh, you this, what I'm saying, you this sexual, this and that. But you don't see that. I mean, you don't see it as much compared to years ago, compared to years ago, because now there's things in place for that,
Exactly, man. I feel like it's a good thing. I feel like that's how society should be. Like what we talked about earlier, like you should, as a person, should grow. I feel like society should grow. Like we all grown as people, but society is saying this thing, then what's the point of, like, what are we actually doing? Like, I feel like it's a good thing that we went from point A to point B and we keep going from that. So when our daughters grow up, that generation will look totally different. We'll be looking at like the old people. They're like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like back in our day, this is how we did it. You know what I mean? Good thing. Like it should keep progressing and keep growing, man. It just shows
that's a part of it.
That we as society, man, we taking initiative to evolve, man. It's
Yeah.
not just being stagnant. Like, hey, we're trying to push the envelope, man. And
Yeah.
like you were showing me the other day about the AI stuff. Like, I feel like in 10 years from now, that stuff gonna be like damn near everywhere. Like AI is gonna
Yeah.
be everywhere. Like literally.
Yeah.
I don't know if
It's a
it's a
whole
bad
robot.
thing, man, but we'll see. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel like just as technology and we as people grow more intelligent and more cognizant of ourselves and the world around us, man, things are going to continue to grow and progress in whatever way they're going. But
Yeah.
that's good topic, man. I feel like
Yeah.
the thing we talk about today, man, is really what all adulthood is, man. Just understanding things grow and change. Like nothing's gonna stay the same. When you're a kid, you
Mhm.
feel like that. Like you feel like I know, like when you're a little kid, you feel like everything's gonna be like you're always gonna
You
be
think you're gonna be a kid forever, right?
never. Being a kid, like everything, like saying you having a good month, it's always gonna be like this. Man, I'm always gonna have fun with my friends and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you get older, you realize that's not always gonna be the case.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do
What age did it hit you that you like you had to grow up? Like what age it hit you? Like, oh, it's not the same.
I mean, for me, I feel like it was let me think. When I felt like I basically just I guess stop being a kid for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. I guess high school, man. Like when I really
Yeah.
started having to get a job and stuff like that, I realized,
Yeah.
like, damn, I'm gonna have to start doing this eventually myself. Like
Yeah.
right now, I had a job just to pay my gas and stuff, but eventually, be like, I'm gonna need a job to survive. So they're like, damn, I
Yeah.
have to start thinking about stuff. Excuse me, thinking about stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the turn from like you said, everybody had that pivotal moment in their lives, man. You go from a child to being an adult, man. And one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible, man, speaks on
Mhm.
that. Like when I was a child, I thought like a child, I acted like a child. Once I became a man, I put those childish ways behind me.
Mhm.
I feel like everybody has that moment, that Rika moment, like, okay, I'm not a kid no more. I gotta start
Yeah.
moving different and acting different. And we
Mhm.
both experienced that, man. Like we talked about today, man. We both had that moments in our lives. We had to realize, okay, I gotta do things differently.
Mhm.
I gotta move differently now because I'm an adult now. I have more responsibility, more people
Yeah.
that I'm responsible for taking care of, and more things I
Mhm.
have to take care of.
Yeah. And I think a dope, like, I can stop about that when you were talking about that. Is that dope? It comes when you get those responsibilities, and responsibilities is like the key word to like I think like adult is like once you become adult, you got responsibilities. Like once you become adult, you gotta get a job. Once you get adult, you got bills. And that's why I think about responsibility. And I think about like my oldest brother, like he helped my mom raise me and my brother Mike. Um, but basically like thinking about being an adult, he had to become adult earlier than everybody else. Like maybe 17, taking care, helping take care of two little boys, and also helping his mom. And I'm like, that's a lot, you think about it. But that wasn't, that he became an adult at 17, responsibilities that most people wouldn't get those responsibilities in certain situations wouldn't get those responsibilities till they're like 30, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or 28, they'd be like, oh, I'm 17, I get to go and do all these things, you know what I'm saying? But somebody else, in different circumstances, may have to get a job, may have to, take care of siblings, may have to, learn how to do these things quicker. Like for example, like for me, it was certain things I didn't learn, because my brother did them for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then certain things that, for me, when I learned them, like, and I get to college and people are like, I never did that before. I'm like, time I learned this back when I was, you know what I'm saying? It's real because it's crazy. But, you start to see that even more in certain situations that everybody becomes adult at different times. And I think it's an age thing, but also it's when you get those responsibilities. I know in college that's when it really hit me though, because once I became a freshman in college, I mean I did have responsibilities back then, like high school, but once I became a freshman in college, like we got the football, the scholarship and
Yeah.
the football check that came with and all that stuff like that. My mom was like, well, you got to pay your own car note. I mean, your own car, not your own car note. I ain't having a car. But you had to pay your own, like, phone bill.
Yeah.
You had to pay all, like, buy your own food, stuff like that. Which I was up for it, but I didn't realize, like, oh, man, like, I got to do this. Once this happened, I got to do this for the rest of my life. So,
Exactly. Like, yeah, that's the point, man. Once you shift, man, and you understand like this side is for now on, you don't go back to being a kid, man. Once you
yeah.
the third eye open, man, you can't unsee what you saw. Like, you can't go back to being a kid because you're a man now. You
Yeah.
gotta take care of yourself, man. And I feel like the biggest thing for me, the biggest word for me when we talk about all this is adversity.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like being an adult is just learning how to handle adversity, man, and be resilient from it. Because we all gonna have some type of adversity, some type of negative or bad things to happen in our lives. So something that just changes, how we view the world, whatever. But we all need to have that the ability to be resilient, man, to keep moving forward. That's all you can do as an adult, man. Just keep moving forward. You lose your job, oh well, you gotta figure something out. You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna
Yeah.
hold your hand and pay your bills for you or take care of you for you. You gotta
Yeah.
be resilient and figure that out. You know what I mean? So
You're
it's
right.
like the biggest thing about being an adult, but bro, just learning how to handle adversity and be resilient. Because I know like
Hmm.
we both had our challenges in life, man. Things we deal with it kind of knocked us down, but by the grace of God, we both were able to get back up, man, and keep moving forward. And we learn from that and grow from that. That's why we different now than we were back
Yeah.
then, man. And that's
You're
a
right.
blessing, man, to be able to say that.
Yeah. And the last thing too, like you said, is that resilience. And being an adult, like you become an adult, you understand that things gonna come and things gonna go. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're gonna gain things, you're gonna lose things. Sometimes you might lose things more than you gain things.
Yeah.
But at least you gain the experience, um, and those things like that. So that's a big one. I know the last thing we had talked about, I know you said like the things that are good when becoming an adult and the things that are bad when becoming an adult. Do you want to share some of those things like that are bad that when you become an adult?
I mean, I feel like we spoke about the bad. I feel like they ended
Yeah.
off, man. Let's talk about some good things, man. Some good things.
Yeah.
Man. I feel like
We done talking about the bad.
yeah, like we spoke about that to like a lot for the past hour. But I feel like the
Yeah.
good things part of it, man, is just being able to figure out who you are as a person, man, and
Mm-hmm.
find your own way in life. I feel like we talked about earlier, like you never thought about like being in nature and being able to
Mm-hmm.
do the little things and stuff like going fishing and stuff because you probably really didn't understand you like those things because you didn't have time to. Like you just
Mm-hmm.
around other people and influenced by them and trying to fit in and stuff. But as you get older, you realize that stuff don't matter. Like
Yeah.
I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you don't like the things I don't like or you don't see me
Yeah.
as such and such. Like I want to be who I am, man.
Yeah.
That's why you see them old people like they don't care about nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be who I want. I don't care if you like, you know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
sometimes they do it in a rude way, but still like it's because they understand like it don't matter. Like at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like we're gonna die. Like not trying to be morbid, but we
Oh
all
yeah.
gonna die.
You're right. You're right.
Why waste time worrying about stuff that don't matter?
Yeah.
It makes you want to be more, like you said, present, more open,
Present.
more just doing the things you want to do with your life. That's why I feel like as you get older, man, you try to figure out like what are your passions, what are your desires,
Mm-hmm.
what do you really want to do, what is the meaning
Mm-hmm.
of your life, not just the meaning somebody else gave to you.
Yeah. I think the good. I think you hit on the perfect. I just think that the good, like for me, is just the good. Being an adult is being able to have a family, being able to, do the things that you always wanted to do as a kid, like the things that you always dreamed of having. Like you start to have those things, um, and so with that, you have that gratitude for it. Um, but also, I said family, being able to have those experiences, those are good. Have those good experiences. You're being able to do those things that always wanted to do, you dreamed of. And then non good too is just being able, like you said earlier, Troy, being able to be the person that you want to be, and that's the best thing out of all of them because at the end of the day, if you able to be the person you want to be, then you feel good, So, and there's other pieces to it, and there's other things to it. But I think just being like, I think there's more positives in being an adult than negatives
Oh yeah,
because I think at the end of the day, like it comes like we want it. The more life that you live, right? That's better, right? You're able to live because there's people out there who don't live like get to live and be the same age as you, things like that. So I think that gratitude of being able to be thankful for life and being able to see, like, we said earlier, like, oh, we get older from birthday, like, but in reality, there's people out there who are not, that didn't make it to our age. So we can constantly just keep growing. And so when life does end, you're like, well, I did have gratitude for the years I was here, that type of thing. So yeah.
I like that, man. That's a good piece to finish it off with, man. Just
Yeah.
hey, that's being an adult, man. Is you have your good days, your bad days. You gotta get through, handle adversity, and be resilient. But end of the day, man, it's all about being grateful for what you have. Like
Yeah.
nothing is guaranteed. Nothing is set in stone, man. Like you just gotta take every day for what it is, man. To be thankful that you're alive. Be thankful you have an opportunity to better yourself and correct the mistakes you made the past day or whatever it is, man. Like
Yeah.
be grateful that you're still alive and you're still able to live out your life until whenever God calls you on.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's been a really good discussion today. I really enjoyed, man, just talking with you about
Yeah.
adulthood. I know like we think similarly, man. We have a lot of similar experience and stuff in life. So like it's good just to hear like your side of how you see things too, man, and kind of had that interaction like that, man. So I really appreciate you, man, doing this with me.
My last piece too, Trail, is just like it was just, I know we always say like find somebody like that you can kind of like learn from and be able to take stuff from. So just surround yourself, like especially for being Black males, surround yourself around individuals who who like you want to be similar to, or you want to learn from. Because I mean, at one point they were doing the same thing, so kind of doing that and just kind of reaching back and bringing,
Yeah.
that type of thing. So yeah, that's good.
I like that, man. Hey, always good, man, to give back to people, man. Because it's like we only here because people gave back to us, man. I know, like
Yeah,
we had people in our lives that saw something in us, man, and wanted to help us build that, man. So it's only
yeah,
fair we do the same for the next generation. So that's the thing about being an
definitely.
adult too, man. Like that's responsibility, man. You more. I feel like, especially we got kids, man. You feel more responsible for the next generation. Like I see
Yeah,
somebody younger than me that's struggling, or you know, lose their path or way in life. I'm like, man, what can I do to help that person? You know what I mean?
yeah, you're right. How can I help them? How can I pick them up? That's big, definitely.
But man, like I said, bro, I really enjoyed this conversation, man. I feel like
Hmm.
it don't feel like we spoke for an hour, man. It's been an hour. Like
Oh my, yeah,
it's
we
been an
be
hour.
on it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like that's why
that's
like
that. That's when that passion comes out.
bro,
Yeah,
we care about this stuff. I feel like that's why we doing this podcast, man. To have a
yeah.
platform where we just talk about the things that we care about, man, and
Hmm.
express ourselves, man. I feel like it's a big thing in life to be able to do, to express the things that you care about and feel passionate about, man. And I'm
Definitely.
thankful, man, to call you my brother, man, and
Yeah,
be able to, continue to have a relationship with you, man, and grow as man and see where God takes us, man. And I'm just thankful,
definitely.
man. Bro, let's continue to be consistent with this podcast, man. Continue to
Definitely. We're gonna
build it,
keep it
man.
going. Our future bright too.
Exactly, man. Like we just getting started, man. This is
Yeah.
I want to say 6th episode, maybe
Yeah.
7th, something
Things
like
like
that, man.
yeah, 5, 6, and 7, one of them.
One of them,
Yeah.
man.
We on the go though. We getting them going.
Exactly, man.
Yeah,
I pray we stay consistent with this, man, because I enjoy doing this, man. It only take an
definitely.
hour of our time, but like it's something that's really I really enjoy doing, man. I love doing this.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, man, that's why I said the purpose of Silent Switch podcast is just to let our listeners know, our journey, where we're going, where we're trying to go, the man that the man that we're becoming, the man we're trying to become, and continue to just kind of learn from us, take from what they want to take from it, but also just being able to see that we're all human beings, and that if you are thinking a certain way, listen to this podcast to let you know that you have people with similar minds who are thinking about the same things you're thinking about. So, like I said, this podcast is extremely beneficial to us. Like I said, I enjoy doing it with you, Trail. Like best friends since high school. You don't find that. You don't find that brotherhood to keep things going. Especially being on the same wavelengths. You definitely don't find that nowadays. So definitely, I say that our listeners, make sure y'all tune in next week. We're gonna be back on next week, Trey. We're gonna be back next week.
We'll go ahead, man. Y'all stay tuned for that. But we're gonna be
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, we'll be back. But yeah, definitely make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all keep joining us on the Silent Switch. Make sure you tell your friends, and they can tell their friends, and they can tell their other friends about our podcast. And
Till later.